Woo. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades. This is Kenya Revolutionary. I'm back for another session today. I've missed a couple of days. I've been busy. But anyway, we are back here for the regular programming, Kenyan politics, or should I say, Kenyan politics. So if you're watching this from wherever you are, whether you're watching it from Africa, Kenya, East Africa, West Africa, whatever the case is, in Africa in general, Europe, South America, North America, America in general, Asia, Antarctica, New Zealand, Australia. Karibu sana, karibu sana, karibu sana, karibu sana. Again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades. Hey, leo ni leo. Leo ni furahi day. I might be brief. I don't know how long I'm going to stay here. I might stay here for a year. I might stay here for an hour, or I might stay for less than an hour, depending on how things go, depending how things run. I shall just touch on a couple of things that has been happening for the past 3 days that I've missed. There's so many things happening. The affordable housing has been assented by the president, has been signed into law. It's an affordable housing act. It's no longer a bill anymore. And somebody's trying to challenge it. And guess who it is? Okia Omtata. Just a few hours ago, we heard that Okia Omtata was being followed after he left the courts. He left the courts and they attacked him. I guess I don't know how beat up, if he was beat up or whatever happened to him, but I guess he was attacked. I just saw that it was breaking news a few hours ago in the news. As you know, Okia Omtata is the only person who actually have balls to fight this unconstitutional policies by this administration, this puppet government, Western puppet government, to be fair to you. Okay. In other news, our buddy Raila Amolo Odinga, Agwambo Terengenye, aka Konoman mwenyewe, is living large. He took a picture of himself. He's in a freaking G4, whatever the case is. It's a private plane. He's living large. He has some beats on, headphones. He's not worried about cost of living. He's not worried about cost of living. And no, that's for somebody else. He's not worried about the cost of living. Nyinyi jalini yo mambo ya cost of living. Not Agwambo Terengenye. No. Agwambo is flying high in a private jet. Nyinyi endeni mkapigania mambo ya cost of living. Not him. No. We shall touch on that. Again, what else? There's so many things happening. The governor of Kakamega was caught pants down. Literally pants down. Like, yeah, he had his pants down. Like he was naked. Alienda kwenda kwa mganga. Allegedly, somebody was trying to, William Mganga was trying to get money out of him because he had the photos of him being naked. So he was like, hey, listen, you got to pay up. I have your nudes. I'm holding your nudes. You got to pay up or else I'm going to expose you. So, Ay, Kenya kuna vituko jamani. Kenya. Namwona Goody hapo. Goody. Hey, I hope you're doing well. My sister. Haven't seen you for a minute. Nice seeing you. Karibu sana. Like the video, as you know. If you're, hey, by the way, do I need to say it? You know the first order of the day. Anyone who's watching, whether you're watching from Twitter, my Twitter page, if you're following me on Twitter, if you're watching this, or you're going to watch this on repeat, the first order of business is to like the video. Like it. Okay. Where do I start? There's so much happening. Let's start by, let's see. Okay. Let's start with the Housing, Affordable Housing Act. It's no longer a bill. It's already a law. And Sifuna promised us, said that him along with Okia Omtata, they'll go to the courts and to fight it, okay? We are waiting to see that. But let's go about it because there's a bunch of things that have been saying. Don't worry, Goody, you haven't missed anything. I just started like literally 4 minutes ago. And I don't even know where to start. There's so much has been going on. I've been out for 3 days. I don't know what's going on. There's so much. I'm overwhelmed with news. I don't know where to start. I'll start with Hinga. and the housing, affordable housing. I don't know why they call it affordable, because it's not affordable. There's nothing affordable about this. At least to the people who really actually need housing, it's not affordable. But we shall tackle it. We shall tackle it. Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Shall we? Okay. I want to start with something. Okay. I want to draw some parallels, rather, with a housing scheme that was started in South Africa. It was a government private PPP, private public partnership deal arrangement. Okay, that was being run in South Africa, and it's very similar to what is happening in Kenya. The reason why I want to play this is because I was trying to find out what's with this whole. Why is there all of a sudden these governments are so gung ho on this idea of housing? I mean, yes, there's some people who need decent housing. Okay, like we go to Kibera and all these slums, they live in under squalid living conditions. Yes, we agree with that, and we would like, as the government, it would be nice for them to move them into decent housing, houses. Let me just say that, okay? But the aggressive nature in which this administration has been going by for this housing thing. I mean, they want to build, I don't know how many houses. Is it 250,000 units or houses in a year? They are telling us that 50,000 are under construction right now that are going on. What's going on? I mean, why so aggressive about it? Why don't you just leave it to the counties? This is a county issue. I've made that case a 1,000 times. I don't want to make it again. But Goody is telling me affordable housing means that they take money straight from your way. Yes. At first, if you can remember, at first they started telling us it's a levy. And again, it seems like so many people don't know the difference between a levy and a tax. A levy is a fee that you pay at the point of usage. Okay? Again, I'll repeat. A levy, the difference between a levy and a tax is a levy is a fee that you pay at the point of usage. So if you want that housing, if it was a levy, if you wanted that house, then you'll have to contribute, maybe mshahara yako, a percentage of your mshahara shall be deducted to go towards the house that you will be guaranteed by the government in order for you to move in at some point when it's ready, or whatever the case is. If there's down payment needed, that's all. But all in all, you will have some deduction taken up from your paycheck, from your income, to go towards that house. Okay, so because you want that house. A tax is something that everybody has to pay. Everybody. Tax is something that everyone has to pay. There's no if or buts about it. Everyone, ushuru mpaka kila mtu alipe. Everybody has to pay it. Whether you want the house or you don't want it, you are going to pay for it. Okay? So levy is something that's optional. You can opt not to pay for the whatever service or house or whatever the thing is that you want. If you don't want it, you're not going to pay it. Okay? But a tax is something that everyone pays, whether you want it or not. You are going to pay it. Just like we pay taxes for the government to provide services to us, for the government to offer services, to build roads, to build schools. These are things that we expect from the government to do for us. So we pay, all of us who work, we pay taxes towards that, to the government, so that we can be guaranteed these services. A levy is something that we only pay if we want a certain type of service. Okay, it's not what do you call it? Mandatory. It's optional. That's the difference between a levy and taxes. So this, let's not have this confusion, because I see a lot of people have confusion with that. But anyway, this is a law now. It's convoluted nonsense. So if you make more than 20,000, you will qualify for a bed sitter. I'm not going through all that shit. I don't have time. I'm too old. I have gray hair in my hair. I'm not going through that shit. All I know is that I don't think it's fair for everybody to pay for that shit. Because not everyone needs a freaking house. I don't think the number one pressing issue in Kenya is housing. It's not. Okay? The number one pressing issue is unemployment, cost of living. That's what it is. Okay? So I'm not going through it. But let's listen to a buddy, Hinga. Hinga was on JKL. He was talking his talk. Okay? He was talking his talk, explaining, sweating. Okay? His fat ass was telling us about the housing levy. Let's listen to Hinga, what he was telling us. It was interesting. This man was outdoing himself. But I want to I want to play a small clip. There's a small clip that I really like. It's from Malawi that will help us kind of get some just for shits and giggles. Just shits and giggles. Okay. Can we go to it? All right. Let's just listen to this guy. This guy is hilarious. All right. Are you guys ready? Let me play this short clip. It's also it's a politician who was in Malawi and he was promising the Malawians people, whatever constituency he's representing, he was promising them that he will build houses. Then the journalist started pressing him, and the interview is hilarious. It was so hilarious. It made my day. I've seen it before, but I just want to play. I want to play it before we get serious. Okay, I want to play this, then we get serious. Okay, and actually, this is a serious issue. But let's start with that. Okay, mko tayari. Let's get to it. Let's first start with this clip. I love it. You will love it. I'm sure you will love it, and you will enjoy it. All right, so let's play it. Listen carefully because they have like strong Malawian accent.
Simple and straightforward question. In the judge here, the judge. Honorable Minister, you can do better. Honorable Minister, it's a simple and straightforward question. Out of 10,000 houses you promised to Malawi, Defense Force, to police, how many have you constructed? It's a simple, straightforward question. Is it 500? Is it 1,000? It's not a simple, straightforward question. Why is it not a simple and straightforward question? It's figurative. You want me to tell you the numbers? Yes. But you could have told me that, Bwana, among the questions that I'm going to ask you, we are going to ask this. You want me to... It is you who said you promised 10,000 houses. And you just asked. Out of 10,000. We have built substantial number. We'll finish. What is substantial number? That substance. I will choose to respect your position. It's going to you have failed. You have failed Malawians on that promise. There's no. Budget munali njala. No. Out of 10,000 houses promised. Okay, okay, are you going to give me an answer or not? I'm going to answer you. Okay, so answer me. You want me yes or no? Is that so? No, it's not yes or no. I want a number. Give me a number. I am not going to do that because I'm not going to... Let me explain. Okay, please. I'm saying in view of the catastrophic atmosphere that we had, drought, floods, donor flight, casket. We could not have started it all over again in earnest. But we have done the feasibility. We have built almost 200, and then we are going to finish. There you have it. But you are making me to just... I just wanted a number. So out of 10,000, the DDB administration has given us 200. And we are going to finish the other one. Are you not embarrassed? No way. There's no embarrassment. It's a process. You know what? That is your problem, you blind bad. You want the government program to start today and you finish it tomorrow. Then where have you taken the money? All development is a progress. You don't expect somebody says I'm going to build a...
Okay, let's get serious. Oh my Lord. Okay. Anyway, that's an example of okay, I'm doing my little try. I'm trying to do a little research here because it's a recurring thing. I see a lot of African countries, especially. Of course, every government on the globe, and we don't live in a globe, so I'm a flat earther. So for those of you who get offended, switch your TV off. But anyway, I'm just saying, across the world, every government always tries to provide housing to its citizens. Okay, But I'm so curious why, especially among African countries, why there's such an aggressive approach to this housing need, while again, the pressing needs for most of these developing nations is not housing per se. It's the basic needs that okay, housing is a basic need, yes, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying employment. You have to empower the people economically for them to be able to purchase these houses. Why does these governments don't get it? They get it, they have it, they have their ass backwards, okay? If you're going to build houses, you want to build a house and put somebody who has enough, is capable of renting or buying the house that you're building, okay? It does not make sense for you to buy a bunch of houses and you have a population that can barely afford a meal. So how do you expect them to pay for those houses? So I want, like I say, I want to draw parallels between the situation in Kenya with the Housing Act now that has been passed, and there's a similar housing development project that was in South Africa. That South Africans were going through the same problems that we are facing. They were building a bunch of houses, but not so many people could qualify for these houses. So I want to play this clip, and it's so funny how the arguments that these guys were making is eerily similar to the arguments we are having in Kenya. These guys are making the same arguments. Why do we have you cannot eat a house? I'll play you that clip. Then we'll get to the housing project with Hinga in Jeff Koinange, when he was giving us the bullshit excuse telling us that, oh, this will create jobs. And that. Okay, it will create jobs. Kazi Mjengo. The doctors are in the streets right now. Do you expect those doctors to go join the Kazi Mjengo to help them economically so they can pay? That I'll get to that. There's so much to come. Hit the like button before I start. Hit the like button right now. And if you haven't subscribe. Let's get to it. Let me play you this video so you can see how similar we Kenyans are going through. Yes. Goody is saying housing bills passed everywhere in the globe. Yes, it does. But also we have to answer. Again, it goes case by case. Even in China, do you know China has something called a ghost town? They have ghost towns as we speak right now. There's a town, and I'll find the clip. There's a town in China where there's a bunch of houses that were built by the government. Government was so aggressive in their approach. They were expecting, by the year 2030, there'll be, I don't know, a gazillion people. There's so many houses that were built, but no one lives there. Literally, nobody lives there. So the government has reached a point where they're like, their population is not growing as much. Yes, the economy has grown, but now they're kind of, not stagnant, but they are in a point where the government is realizing that they've built a lot of houses, but not everyone shall move into these houses. Not only because of the economy, because the economy, if you look at the projection for China by 2030, it's not going to grow as it did for the past 30 years, okay? So they have this bunch of houses in a huge town where nobody lives there, okay? And the houses are just sitting there decaying, and they don't know what to do with it. In fact, there's an argument that they want to demolish these houses and build something else, okay? So those are the kind of challenges that different governments face. That's why, yes, there's housing bills that are being passed every countries, but we have to take it case by case based on our housing needs. If you look at Kenya, yes, there are people who need housing, okay? Whether you want to classify them as social housing, which is geared towards the low-income folks, the people in Kibera, and so forth, or are you going to build houses that's geared towards the middle class? And how huge is the Kenyan middle class, okay? Then there's the people who are at the top, the political class, the billionaires, the business people, okay? Those people don't need houses. They build their own mansionettes and villas in Ushago and Lavington and whatever the case it is, okay? They do not need houses. They have enough money to build their own houses of their own design. Now you have the middle class who, again, these guys work in they work in Nairobi. They probably rent in Nairobi, in these metropolitan places. Then they save up money for their pension and all that stuff, and they start building uko nyumbani ushago. No one wants to retire into an apartment, what you call bedsitter, or we call studio, or a 2-bedroom apartment. You want to build your own big house of your own design, of your own thing. So the underlying problem is the unemployment. You have to give people, the government should create, okay, an environment where its citizens can produce or be productive economically in a way that they can rely on themselves. Wanaweza kujitegemea. So if it means maybe providing jobs, sustainable long-term jobs that somebody can actually retire from, get some pension, have enough income where they can afford to pay for a rental house or hire purchase, as this housing, whatever is saying, or build their own houses of their own design. The government should provide an economic base, whether it's through production, whatever, job creation. That's what I'm saying. Help job creation. Okay, I'm not into that whole idea of foreign investments. Yes, you can bring foreign corporations to come to your country, but, and here is a big but. If you're going to bring, like I heard Kenya wants to bring Amazon to Kenya. Amazon has been rejected by so many countries in Europe. In fact, almost all countries in Europe rejected Amazon because these guys want terms that are not favorable to the wananchi. So that's why you see people like Amazon, Nike, and all this. They go to places like Southeast Asia, places where they can get away with economic crimes. And when I say economic crimes, I mean like they go get away with, not paying taxes, not worrying about the workers' working conditions, okay? Because workers have rights. So Amazon would rather come to Kenya and they'll literally pay zero taxes, okay? Because that's the deal they'll make with Ruto. They'll give Ruto 30 million and tell him, hey, listen, we are going to bring an Amazon manufacturing a company. We are going to start it in Kenya somewhere. Or that's the whole thing with these economic free zones, okay? They pay zero taxes, they make a bunch of profits, and these profits are not taxed by the Kenyan government. These profits are shipped back to the foreign countries, untaxed, okay? Untaxed. They don't pay tax because Kenya has signed this deal with this economic bullshit for the next 30 years, economic zones, okay? They're not advantageous to the country. So what I'm saying is this. I'm not against the government bringing foreign corporations to open shop in Kenya. But the deal, the arrangement, that's where the devil is always on the details, okay? If Amazon bring its company here, wants to start the manufacturing company here where they process their stuff, whatever the case is, okay? If they bring it in Kenya, the Kenyan government should have terms that will be beneficial to Kenyans. Number one, Amazon shall pay taxes just like any other company. Yes, you might not want to charge them extra because you want to encourage them to come in so that they can employ your local employers, train them, and, employ them. So you might give them a tax break, but you have to tax them reasonably, okay? Then workers' rights should be a guaranteed thing. Francis Atwoli is busy shouting, talking about politics, but does not care about the workers' rights. Chinese people are caning people in the streets for not showing up on time to work. Mtu mzima, a grown man being beaten up with a chapwa and a Chinese employer. Okay, these are what I'm talking about. The working conditions should be safe. There should be pensions, okay, reasonable living wages or salaries. With what? With what I call what do you call it? Benefits. We call them what's the name for it that we call it? Something like okay, I don't know. Every country has it. In the US they call it 401k or whatever. Benefits. There's another word I'm looking for. I forgot. But all I'm saying is this: a job where the worker feels safe. They're guaranteed. You sign a contract. Amazon is going to stay here for the next 20 years, but in the next 20 years, they're going to pay taxes and they're going to pay their employees here in Kenya reasonable living wages that they can live on, okay? And the working conditions should also be up to par. You can't work in a place where unaweza kufa na ukikufa nobody compensates you, okay? That's what I'm saying. Simple things like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm not against bringing foreign corporations to Kenya, but their conditions, as far as the agreement, should be beneficial not only to the wananchi, also to the government. Okay? The catch is we let Amazon come here and we give them a little bit of a tax break compared to their homeland, but in exchange, they get to guarantee our workers a job in the X amount of years, and it's a renewable thing with reasonable living wages and all the benefits that comes with the job, okay? That's what I'm talking about. They provide the healthcare, give them all that, okay? You get what I'm saying, okay? What is Gudia telling us here? Kenya houses built by Kenyans people, not the Chinese. Yes, be careful with Amazon. Right. Yes. I was just giving Amazon as an example. Yes, nobody wants Amazon. Amazon is not. They are very, very, very. It's not a good company. Just like Apple. I used to have an iPhone. I do not want iPhone after I learned about how they're screwing people up in China and how. I'm done with that. I'll go to Samsung. I'm sorry. I switch up. But anyway, that's the point I'm making. The point I was making, Goody, I think I drove it home. If I didn't, I'll try it again. I'm just saying that bringing foreign corporation is not bad per se, but the condition in which this the government will agree with these corporations should be beneficial not only to the government of Kenya, but to the workers, the people, okay? Again, I'll say it for the last time. If a company comes to Kenya, that company should have, pay workers reasonable living wages with benefits like insurance, like health insurance, whatever insurance, what do you call it? Other kind of insurance, provide incentives to empower the worker, have safe working places, okay? Tuache hii mambo ya ati mtu anaenda kuna factory hapo, watu wamechomeka kwa factory, the factory doesn't want to pay their workers, the working conditions are terrible, people are dying and no one is being compensated. We have to wrangle and go to the courts to get some kind of compensation. There's no health care provided by the company to its employees, stuff like that. So if this company comes to Kenya, they provide those benefits and reasonable living wages, okay, and a safe working workplace, okay. In exchange, the Kenyan government should offer them tax break, some kind of tax break. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let me bring Brother Benson. Unajua Brother Benson akikuja, unajua mambo ni hot. Aya, let me bring him in so I can hear what he has to say. Right, let me bring him in. Brother Benson, Okay, Brother Benson. I have there's the link if you want to get in. Link ndio hiyo. Wacha mimi kunywa kahawa. But yes, so these are the things that I'm saying that the government can do to help empower them wananchi to have a job whereby they can enjoy these benefits. They have a job where they are guaranteed a reasonable amount of pay, where they can afford to pay to live in these houses that the government is building, or gets a healthcare, or okay. Anyway, Brother Benson is here. Karibu sana, Brother Benson. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, maybe from your side.
Niko sawa. Like I usually say, Brother Benson akitokea unajua siasa ni hot.
No, me, I'm just okay. I just want to listen to you because I see you are discussing something that is very, very, very much important. Yeah, so
yes.
Let me come and give my brother support. Maybe to stay in student listen to you.
Okay. No, we are sharing. Unajua, I learn from you, you learn from me, and we learn to each other, and we learn what to comments. So, what do you think? It's no longer an act. It's sorry, it's no longer a bill. It's an act. Affordable housing ndio imepita. I saw a little bit about you. If you're making 20,000 and less, you are una qualify you one bed sitter. But again, the question that most Kenyans were asking: so, what about those people who maybe they're unemployed, ama wanafanya kazi ambayo they don't get a pay slip, they get a paycheck? How do you tax them, and what do they qualify for?
And those are hi, Goodyear. Thank you so much. I'm here, Mr. Goodyear. Thank you for supporting us. You've always supported us in our channels, and may God bless you big time. So it's still there's still some questions that need to be answered that we are still not getting the answers, because if for example if I'm working and somebody is not working, right, and you're taking my tax, and through that affordable, this person is going to get the house, that is it's kind of like discriminatory, because it is not fair to me to build a house for somebody that is not contributing in the economy. That is one. Secondly, if you look at the law, the housing was devolved to the county government. It should not be under the national government, and you're seeing national government is in it. So it still has like so many answers, so many questions than answers. But I think the administration is adamant about it, and they are going with it. And another thing that maybe this one just came to me the other day, I was thinking, like, when you look at the members of parliament, these people, they have mortgages that is over at them. Then if you are being offered the mortgage as a member of parliament, yeah, why then do you have then to be deducted on the affordable housing? Because the primary aim, from the way we are looking at it, is like president want everybody to own a house. And the members of parliament have, when you look at their pay slip or some of the benefits they get at being a member of parliament, there's that mortgage that you're being offered, for you to own a house. Yeah. So why then do you still have to be deducted that amount?
And
yeah,
go ahead. No. Yeah. Finish your thought.
So those are kind of like questions that if they can be answered. And I always say affordable housing is a very brilliant idea. It's a very brilliant idea. But I think where we are missing the point is the criteria of how these houses are going to be given out. Then another thing is the discriminatory part of it, yeah, of how it is being implemented. Because my mom is not working, yeah, but maybe she wants to get those houses. Will she get them, or there's something that she has to pay? That is one. Then another thing also that he's also raising issue is the land. Yeah, the land. How can, if this is a public land, it's a government land, so which means it belongs to public, and the government takes this land to build those houses. Yeah. Why then should you buy it But because the land it's owned by, it's a public, it's for government, then you're still buying those houses. So I think there's still more to be answered, you know.
Right.
Yeah, especially the fact that the people that are in charge, especially the professional and the political class that are in charge, they are trying everything possible, you know, for this the deduction to go, and they sell it as a very brilliant idea. Yeah, so I think like yesterday or the day before yesterday, I was listening to one lady. I think is was talking on the part of the government, and her reasoning was not making sense to me. So you know, it depends on
Right.
where you are.
And I'm glad you mentioned that members of parliament, they get these mortgages, they get offered these mortgages. And the reason why they simply get this offer, because there's these banks, they know how much these members of parliament make. So it's easy to offer them these mortgages because it's kind of a guarantee that the bank will get their money back. Okay. And that's why I wanted to play this clip. I'm not going to play it right now, but I'll play it later. It's about this. It's a similar housing scheme that was in South Africa, and they were facing the same things. And one of the things is, the question that we're asking is, what about, there are people who don't have income. Like you gave an example, your mom that wants a house, but maybe she's not working. So this is the problem that we'll face down the right line. There are people who are going to apply for these houses, okay? But at the point where they want this house, that's where they will face the roadblock. Okay. Because remember, this housing the bado inataka wanahitaji down payment. They took it from 10% or 20% to what percentage, but there's a down payment that is required. Okay? Again, for anybody who wants to let you move to this house, they want to know, how are you going to pay for this house? Now, kama hauna income, doesn't that mean that they will turn you down and tell you, hey, listen, I'm sorry, you can't qualify for this because you can't prove that you'll pay for this house. So, I mean, it will defeat the purpose.
Yeah, because like even if you look at the way sometimes you listen to the leaders who are aligned to the government on how they reason, like they need Kenyans to have decent housing, the affordable housing. And some of them do not have income, because we have our brothers who are staying in slum areas. Like we have areas like Korokocho, we have areas like Kibera, we have Madare North, Madare Valley, Gay 1, Gay 2, those places of Oruma, Kawangware, but some of them do not have they do not have like steady income, and the same time you want to make sure that that population get a decent housing, and owning those houses. How are they going to own those houses? Then another thing also that maybe somebody also need to explain to me, because you are already deducting this money, yeah. And I think like if you're deducting, that one should act as your deposit, because you are paying towards owning that house. Why then should you pay another deposit when now you are getting that house?
Right.
So because like by your money being deducted towards that, it means you're already paying towards it. So or other logic that they might have used is that when you are going for a mortgage, one of the things that you have to do is a deposit that you are required to pay, So, but in the case of government, no, that deposit is not there, but now you are contributing. Yeah. So
Right.
like your salary, or where the money that your employer is contributing is acting as a security for you to own that house. Why then should you again have like a 10% deposit, yet you've always been deducted for all this? How can that one work?
Yeah, I saw that. I think there's a section of it which deals with the social social housing. I think that's what they call it, which is geared towards those people who might live in the slums. And I heard them saying that those social housing will be for people who live in, let's say, Kibera and they'll pay the same rate that they were paying while they were in Kibera, because even people in Kibera, they'll still rent, some of them, if not majority of them. To me, the thing, yeah, go ahead.
But if you look at some houses in Kibera, some of them are not. We call them structures. They are not houses.
Right. Right.
And they pay some pay as small as maybe between even like 2,000 or maybe 3,000. So affordable housing is a very brilliant idea, but I think implementation and how it is being done, that is where the problem is.
That's what I was about to say. I think they're saying good things right now on public, but I think in its applicability, when it's time to apply it, because I don't see someone who's applying for a house who does not have a job, has no means of proving any kind of income, telling you that he wants to move in, even if that's bedsitter. Because the first question you'll ask is, how are you going to pay for it? Now, if they can't, that's why this comes down to basically it comes down to unemployment, the economic nature of Kenya. If people are unemployed, 60% unemployment in Kenya, I don't know.
You're talking about employment, and each and every time I hear the president talk about like we are creating employment, create employment Simbaya, yeah, it is creating, but is it sustainable? You have to look at sustainability of that project. Will it sustain for how long? And because that when you're constructing a house, at some point this house will be completed. Yeah, when the house is completed under the contractor will go with these people. So how sustainability is that one going to be? And when you talk of employment, maybe there's a project that is taking place in maybe Kisumu County, Migori County, and let's say like that the project faces off, like now the project is done. Yeah. Where are the people who have been working? Where will they go? So I think employment is there, but I don't think that the employment that we are getting in affordable housing can be one of the driving factors to grow our economy, because it's not sustainable. So that's what I think.
Right. And that's why I gave this an example. We have to create industries. True. Now, with that said, whatever industry we create, even if we build a factory, let's say, I think we were talking one day, you're telling me about there's a gold in somewhere, is it South Nyanza or somewhere?
We have in Migori, we have a gold deposit in a place called, I think it is Makalda.
Yes.
We also have one in Siaya too, where this guy was buried, like in the...
Yes. So okay, let's say we have a refinery. You build a refinery there. You have a bunch of people who you employ, you train, you employ, and that's why you see it's not even a union, it's a contract where you have, let's say, this refinery is built, and you say you'll employ Kenyans for the next 30 years.
True.
Okay. So, and after you employ them, of course, somebody like the KOTU, I forgot what KOTU means, but I know it has to do with the workers' rights, where they have to guarantee safe working conditions. This refinery, since it's going to be making money with time, with the help of the government or private, it also guarantees the benefits of these employers, okay? Paying them livable wages, benefits like healthcare, all that stuff, for the next 30 years, okay? And it's renewable, where it's going to employ Kenyans. Same thing, that's why I gave an example of Amazon. Bringing Amazon in Kenya is not bad in itself, but the terms of the agreement is where the problem comes. You cannot have these 28 companies in free economic zones not paying any taxes, and they're shipping their billions of profits back in US or back in Europe. So this is what we need to be doing. If you're going to bring these companies, you sign them a contract for the next 30 years and it's renewable after 30 years. They train our workers, make them high skilled workers, with whatever. So that's how you actually help. So you know that in the next 30 years, you have a bunch of young people or even old or whatever the case is who are trained. Okay. Now they are skilled. They can afford to buy these houses or move to these houses that you're building. Okay. And do all these sorts of things that we want. They can send their kids to either public or private school. And it helps the economy because now they have money in their hands. They can buy this food. Cost of living, is not an issue to them anymore. That's how I'm looking at it. But
let me ask you again. Everybody has a preferential, especially when it comes to housing. You cannot condition somebody that I need you to be here. It will depend with the power of the finance or the strength of your finance. So, for instance, sometimes somebody might be having this power of finance whereby he can or she can afford a house in Kileleshwa or Karen, yeah. But you're telling this person, okay, now you also have to we deduct you for getting affordable housing, and I'm not going to own it, yeah. So this person might ask you, why are you deducting me? Yet I'm not going to own that house. I have mine of my own. So I think one of the things that the president could have considered, or the legislature could have considered, it could have been a voluntary. If you want to own the house the way government want to give us a house, then sign a contract with the government, So like after signing those contracts, then you will say, this is how much I want you to deduct from my salary based on what you are earning.
Yes.
So, because like even deducting some of the employees, that money is being deducted, yet the money that now they are having is not sustainable because it is not voluntary. It is a law that has been passed.
Right. It's a tax.
So
it's not a levy now.
It's something that is taxing you. And sometimes is like you are not at that, because housing, however much you say that this is a basic need, but it is upon the government. There are things that the government should provide. The government should provide basic needs, good housing. Yeah, that's the government should provide, not to everybody, but to those who cannot afford.
Absolutely. And that's and hopefully if you stay later, if you watch this video, I'll play that from South Africa, and they say the same thing. And the point that Goodia is making here, that there are some people who they stay in Kibera, but there's a reason why they stay in Kibera. They actually stay there and they're going to apply for these houses, apply for one, and put somebody there where it provides them income, and they still stay in Kibera.
So that is what is happening. And when what Goodia is saying, it tells you how the priority of people are much different. And that one tells you that what needs to be done is how to create employment, because how will somebody who does not have work, he's not employed, I mean, and he has an opportunity, and there's a 10,000 that can be paid in a flat, he can continue living his life in 2,000 structure in Kibera and get that, so that his life can continue and live where he can afford, because he can go into that house. And remember, when you're moving good houses, it comes with a responsibility. The kind of rate, like the prices of commodities might go up because like it is upgraded, yeah, it is upgraded. As you cannot tell me like somebody who sells maybe a skuma in Kibera in Saba, where is overpopulated, and you come maybe to in Olympics in Kibera next to Udli, is the same product, but the prices are different.
Right. Right.
So it upgrades. So it comes with some responsibility,
Right.
Yeah.
And then the big point that you made also, that I usually also agree with, is the point that you make, that why should I contribute to a housing, affordable housing, whatever, if my dream is to maybe save and take a loan with the government and build a house that I want, because most people who build houses, I'm sure most people, even in the diaspora, unajenga nyumba huko nyumbani huko shago, you talk to the fundi, you want your own design, whether it's 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, whatever it is. So this, they're telling you, it's kind of like an apartment complex. No one wants to live in an apartment complex. You want to live whichever. So I think that's the reason why, part of the reason why Okiya Omtata was running to the courts this morning, and I just heard that he was attacked. I hope he's okay. He was attacked a few hours ago. So hopefully Sifuna also mentioned that him, and along with Okiya Omtata, they're going to challenge this affordable housing thing, because, like you say, to me, it's not fair. I think those people who want it should contribute towards it. Those who don't want it, and counties should take care of it according to its needs.
Yeah, and you have to look even across the board. There are also some of our brothers, like let's say, like our Muslim brothers. Sometimes you may find like they like living in their own community where they share the same values, and maybe sometimes you are deducting this money and they are not into it. And now, even if now you see like the Hustler Fund is not something that we are even talking about. I don't know whether people now remember there's something called Hustler Fund.
I even forgot about that.
It's not there. People are not talking about it. There's so many things that people do not talk about it. So I think like I'm reaching to one of the he's a very sober guy. I will not mention his name, but like I'm trying is in the government, and I'm trying to have a conversation with him so that he can come on the show, and at least we talk as Kenyans, because like if we talk, sometimes we are not all bright.
That's true.
I might be good in some areas, and another brother is good at some areas,
Yes.
So when we come together and argue our facts, it's about learning experience. Nobody can outsmart one another, because like we are not given the same brain and the same way we think. We are talented in different areas. So if we have this engagement whereby we talk, sometimes we might say, okay, this is how I see it, and you can come up with another explanation that might give light to the viewers, even to the us who
see it differently.
And maybe I say, then my thinking was very wrong on this, and this is how it should be. So that's why like I'm trying to engage and trying to bring them on the show, so we can have such like a discussion. Then from there we can get the answers, then we can say, okay, it's a good thing.
By the way, I liked your interview with the last lady that was there. I think she's
Ambassador Esther Waringa.
Is she going to be the first female president?
Yes, she has very, very, very good vision. And remember, she's been in the public service for the longest time, by the way. I think now she's coming. I think she was also in the Kibaki administration. She has worked with the UN. She's somebody who knows about the especially like public service and delivery. She's doing amazing job, and
I see you respect the third rule gender. You even bring females there, so women.
No, do you know what is happening? You have actually, if you look, we have to listen. And I think also I'm planning to bring somebody. Just texted me, reached out to me, say, okay, Brother Benson, can you bring somebody to talk about boy child? So I'm looking for an expert to come and talk about boy child. So
you're mixing it up.
Yeah, so if when somebody reach out to you, like you have to be very kind to your viewers and to people who are watching you, and kind of like make sure that you satisfy their needs. So if you know somebody who can talk about boy child, please let me know. One of my viewers wants to hear something about the boy child. So
I think they have in Afrique 24, they usually have on Friday, they have love and relationship things. So maybe you might connect with somebody there who can help you with that.
Yeah, but like they're not. I think like based on the text I got, it was a very long one, and
Yeah.
there are issues that it's not even issue of love. There are issues that he's raising. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for an expert,
But it's a very specific.
very specific that this guy can address to us. I'm working hard on it, so I'm not going to
Okay.
disappoint my viewer. My
Okay.
brother,
Yes.
by the way, I'm going to have he's called Odimwengu. Odimwengu actually wanted to become president in 2022. Actually, but Chebukati never.
Oh,
Yeah,
never cleared
he's
him.
yeah, and he's a Pan-African. He's somebody who fights for Africa, is advocating for one Africa. And he, by the way, he also wrote a letter. He said he wrote a letter and sent it to the president. He wanted to become, he was applying for the same position that Baba also is vying for.
The
So,
AU?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm going to engage him at around 9 today.
Oh, today?
Yes. So
Okay. I'll keep 9 your time.
no, it's going to be like 2
9
p.m.
2 p.m.
9 p.m. Kenyan time.
Okay. That is
So it is
a few hours from now.
a few hours from now. So it's 2
Okay.
p.m. over here. So we want to listen to his view, his African vision, and how will he actualize it based on there are so many nitty-gritties about African becoming one nation, one army, one central bank, and all that, one president.
Good year, mnasikia huko. I'm tuned in, but Brother Benson is where we are going as soon as we log off here. So
Thank you. So
yeah,
it's about 2 p.m. 9 a.m. in Kenya.
Okay, 2 p.m. huku. Okay. Hiyo ni sawa. By the time I finish here, nitakaa huko nisikia. I want to listen. Yeah, because I've listened a little bit about how the AUC thing is interesting. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know how much time you have left. I wanted to play this video for. I know you don't have to be here because I know you have to set up your thing, but it's kind of lengthy too. But it's about the South African situation about housing, and it's interesting. If you have time, it's interesting how the same things we are talking about, the challenges, is the same challenges we are actually discussing here. To them, they call it a scam or something else. Let me see how long it is.
How long is it?
Let me see how it is. It is about. It's lengthy. It's about 8 minutes.
Okay.
So, it's about 8 minutes, but I might not play the whole of it. But just to get the gist of it, they were discussing about the housing. Let me do that so you can listen to what they're saying.
Okay,
And or maybe you can always. I can send you the link if you have to go, because I know you have to set up and wait for Mheshimiwa. So don't feel like I'm keeping you. You're a busy man. Brother Benson, you see, I see my friend, what's his name? Lee McQueen.
Lee
McQueen, he's a big man now. He calls himself honorable.
I will also, when I go to I will have to look for Lee McQueen at some point.
Yeah, he doesn't go. He doesn't do lives though. He just, he
just
okay. Housing scam run by the so-called check farming syndicates. The city says there have been a number of cases reported across the metro in recent days. Joining us now is Zama Ngwachu, who is a program manager at the Development Action Group. Zama, thank you for making time for us. Are you aware of these scams and who is running them?
Thank you, and thank you to the listeners back home. I think there are some scams that are going around, taking advantage of the good work that is being done by different spheres of government. But at DEG, we always say, how do we start to strengthen the capacity building processes so that people can better understand and better know to say, oh, okay, when it comes to the different housing programs, this is how I can get in contact with different spheres of government. This is where I get the right information, because the syndicates are taking advantage of the poor because the information is not going on the ground to different communities. For example, I think we have indabas that are being organized by government in most cases, but at DEG we are saying, how do we start to create and have dialogues on the ground so that people can better understand government programs, but also better understand how the support that is coming from their way, they can access that. And we are saying is that those dialogues should not be situations whereby the agenda is preset by government officials or by parliament. But we are saying this time around, officials, senior officials who are policymakers and government and politicians should be going on the ground, attend those dialogues, attend those round tables, so that they can better understand what other communities on the ground are saying. Because just to qualify that, I've been saying in these different platforms, between since 1994, as policymakers, as government, as NGOs, as academics.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I know I didn't want to go past an hour. The video, it's called "Beware of a Scam." It's on YouTube. It's a South African video. You can watch it there. I know it's been an hour, and also, I have to do a few things before I, go to Brothers Benson. Yeah, go ahead, Brother Benson. Sorry.
I'm going to watch it, and another thing that I was just thinking about our members of parliament. Members of parliament, they usually represent us. Like we cannot, all of us cannot go to parliament to represent ourselves. So like we have to have somebody that speaks on our behalf. And something that I don't understand, whether the members of parliament, they listen to what are challenges that people are facing on the ground. And if at all they were, there's some of the things they could have paused and maybe think about them and find ways in which they can do it. And like affordable housing right now, I don't think it is something of urgency. It is something that we can still have a conversation if we still are not agreeing. But there are things that are like major challenges that are facing the electorate. Talk of things like right now we have a problem with the health sector. Those are things those are things. Go to we have a problem with the insecurity.
Baringo.
When you go to Baringo.
And the roads. Oh my goodness! What's going on with these accidents?
Yeah, and like that's another thing, that another area whereby now we also need to talk about, because some accidents can be avoided, and this require discipline on the road. How disciplined are you, and how are you overtaking? It's not just you have to overtake, because like sometimes you would find somebody, it's a curve area, but somebody's still overtaking.
Yes.
How can you overtake at a curve area? We have signs. At what speed limit should I be here? Most of our roads, you don't get those road signs. Like now, this is a place whereby you can do 30, you can do 10, you can do 50. They're not there. Bumps,
Yes.
Go to the driving. Who are the people somebody on the steering wheel? Should he be there in the first place?
Yes.
So those are some of the things that we should look at. And the CS Murkomen was saying, like the NTSA, they should go back to the roads. That is not going to solve the issues. They can go back to the road, but it depends on the discipline of the road users. How disciplined are they? The NTSA will be there to scare you. Maybe you pass, you give them small money. How many times have we boarded a car? We know that the NTSA are happy at what you do, and you have excess. Just get mse wa ndudhi, mpatia bebe watu wawili watatu wavukishe. Wakishapita hiyo, wanakuja wanaingia kwa gari. So what have they solved? So it requires discipline on the road, discipline on the driver, discipline on the road users, and discipline on the NTSA and the traffic officials that are given the mandate to man our roads. So if we are disciplined and we know what we want and what the road car should not be on the road.
Yes.
So it is something that we need to talk about it, and that's
and even the quality of the roads too. Marcoman said that if you build a Lamy road, you are encouraging people to even speed. So I was like, what?
So it question the kind of because one thing it doesn't that one makes even the movement to be faster than it should be. And what you need to do is, now you've constructed a very good road. Now try to impose the road sign so that people would know, like, this place I should not go above this. If I go above this, that one will be a traffic offense and should be taken to court and you pay fine for that. You know, those are the things, like, have good roads. He was not reasoning like a minister. I think like he should go by and reason like a CS. That is, in this world you cannot reason like that anyway.
That I agree with you. There are some things that this administration Nakumicha, whatever the CS, and what's going on with these doctors now. I listen to them and I'm saying, where are these people from? Where did the Ruto get these people?
You see, like, the only problem, something that I say, it is a tendency that has been in our country. You know, when doctor strike did not start with the administration of President Ruto. You know, we even though, like, we say, like, this is the government, but like, we have to look at history of our professionals, how they've been treated. For how long will they keep on singing solidarity forever and going and signing all this bargaining agreement? And that thing from I don't know, almost 10 years. And it is a back and forth. Now they go, they sign another agreement. Now they go, another administration will come, and like, no administration, and no administration has treated the doctors, not even the doctors, the professional, the teachers, that keeps on going on strike for the better wage of pay. So it is not something with this administration. This administration is just doing continuing with what other administration and other leaders have always done for the teachers, you know. So I think, like, even the parliament and the leadership in parliament should be candid enough, you know, and they should be good enough not even to blame this government not to implement, because the bargaining start all the way, I don't know, from 2011, 2007 to now. How then would you blame this government that they are not doing something for doctors, you know? So we should have that kind of, like, clear, and we say, like, okay, our professionals should be treated like professionals. For how long will the doctors keep on holding hands and singing solidarity forever? Bado mapambano, for how long? For 10 good years. Just only to implement. But when it comes to now, the CSS, the assistant CSS are coming. If they're going to be paid. And if they're going to be paid doing the same job, a duplication of work and bureaucracy. So that are some of the things that we should look at and they say, let us treat our professional with dignity. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much, Brother Benson. I will leave it here. We are going to your channel after this, because unaanza like in an hour or so. So we are going to watch that in the video. But I thank you so much. I wanted to keep it to an hour, and you've always blessed us. Unajua ukiingia hapo unanifanya ninaendelea. I can talk to you forever, but
thank you so much, brother.
Thank you so much too for showing support, and also good in the comment section. I know she'll come to your channel. That's
he does.
We need to find her some presents. I don't know what can we come up with.
No, we will look for him. I know. I will look for him because he has always been supporting us. So yeah, like
I have a bet with her. If Raila becomes AU, she has to pay me.
That one might. That one he will have.
She needs to get ready.
Yeah, because I see he's going to get it.
I am Gudia.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sawa, Brother Benson. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir.
That was Brother Benson. All right, guys. I would like to thank everyone. Gudio Meskia. That $20. Get it ready. We'll go to Brother Benson's channel after this. He has a hot interview. Okay. But before you leave, like this video. Like this video. And also, anyone can always come on this channel. Apa see, I usually don't put the ninio, but I'll start putting the ninio more. So anyone who wants to say what they want to say in my face or just challenge me on have an interaction. Kuna video hapo, kuna link hapo unaweza kuingia tu na unasema mambo yako. But I'll just leave it at here. It's been 1 hour and 9 minutes. Actually, it's 1 hour 10 minutes now. Raila, Goody is saying Raila is not going anywhere. Okay. I didn't even finish all my topics, but it's okay. I'll finish them tomorrow, maybe in the evening. I might come in later, okay, depending on how I feel. But I want to go watch Brother Benson's interview. I just have to make a quick rounds. Then tutaonana huko. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, good year. Like I say, good year mpaka tutakupatia zawadi this year. Sometime this year we shall give you zawadi. So thank you for supporting this small channel. And you at home, if you've been watching this channel, where those who are watching me or X, if you haven't subscribe. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Subscribe. Unafinya tu hiyo ninio na una subscribe. Na unaweka notification kwa simu yako, so ukisikia ching ndio hiyo nimeingia. Okay? So subscribe, share, like this video, comment, say whatever. You can troll. You're allowed to troll in my channel. You can go and say, hey, whatever. Okay? You can disagree. Just don't be abusive. But if you feel like being abusive, PSR, anything goes over here. Hapa ni Kenya Revolutionary. My name is Kenya Revolutionary. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades, sio tafadhali ni tafadhali. Sio tafadhali ni tafadhali. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and I will see you later. Peace and blessings. As always, I'm out.